Hi everyone, welcome to today's installment of I F and Love Cinema. And today we're going to be talking about the one of my what I consider one of the more underrated A24 movies. And it's a movie directed by Daniel Scheinert of the Daniel, I think that's how you say his name, Scheinert maybe, but he's one of the two Daniels who made Everything Everywhere All at Once, along with Swiss Army Man, which I like better, but whole other conversation for another day. But yeah, The Death of Dick Long. This movie is my second time seeing it. I wanted to show it to my girlfriend because it's kind of like it's an interesting movie. It's a kind of movie that like has a lot of twists to it. So I don't want to say too much here, but let's just say that the movie revolves around a couple of butt rock loving like bros, get involved in some weird acts of intercourse, let's say it that way for the sake of the algorithm. Yeah, they get caught up in some um acts of intercourse that leads to one of the three buddies dying from it. And what I like about this movie is the way that it sort of slowly unfolds what happened that night, because you definitely have the impression that it's this one thing, right? And so the movie becomes about repression, sexual repression, in a lot of ways. And the movie kind of uh, plays that up, puts that front and center, and explores that really well. But then something else gets revealed, and it's not like the movie changes direction. It's just that like the levels of repression, of sexual repression going on here, um, they they just run incredibly deep. Let's put it that way. And you know what I really like about this movie is sort of all. I mean, first of all, the vibe. Like I grew up in a shitty little like small town. But not everything about it was shitty. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people who I grew up with there who are still really great friends. And I'm with someone I met in high school, for fuck's sake. And so yeah, like so watching this movie, it kind of reminds me of hanging out with them, because this is a movie about people who live in a small town, you know, um, and and I love that vibe. That sort of like like wholesome sleaziness that exists, at least on the surface level. Like I said, this movie is about sexual repression, um, but like yeah, the sort of driving around in your friend's beat up car listening to like butt rock, all that sort of shit. Just that sort of like shenanigans and shit. The sort of small town like butt rock vibes of this is part of what I enjoy about it. Like this movie just shamelessly needle drops like Stained and Nickelback. And it is kind of for laughs a little bit at first, because it's like Stained and Nickelback, but no, like this, it fits. It fits with what the movie's doing and all that. And I think there is a level of using that sort of music that plays into the theme of sexual repression here. Um, One of the things that I really liked about this movie is that it's about guys who really underestimate the intelligence of specifically the women in their lives, including one of their own daughters, which is probably like the funnest part of it. Was just like this guy who thinks he's slick, but like to his homies, his homeboys, they all fall for that shtick. But all the women in that dude's life just see right through his bullshit, including his own daughter. And that's sort of, and I know it's weird that I'm sort of like, a movie about someone dying from like a sex act and a movie about sexual repression. It does sound like I shouldn't be laughing and all that. But this movie is a comedy. It's a very bleak, dark comedy, but it is a comedy overall. Because there is a sort of inherently comical absurdity to sexual repression, at least to the way that the movie explores it, at least initially. And yeah, like it doesn't, like, despite it being a comedy primarily, right? And maybe because it is a dark comedy, it doesn't like sell the theme short. It doesn't like do like a shallow exploration. Like I said, at some point in the movie, the theme kind of really expands in a very interesting way. And because of that, this movie is actually like a really great, like, just sort of exploration of that. without it being like too bleak or too fucked up. Because one of my favorite things about this movie specifically is that it is a sort of mystery. There is a crime at the center, but the way it resolves itself is uh absolutely like it's not something I've seen before. You know, it's very it's weird. Like it's there is justice. Justice is had at this movie, you know, but to what extent that justice reaches, I guess I'll say, is surprisingly limited. But then again, because this movie is about shame and repression, it's almost merciful, you know. And yeah, this it's on Showtime and Paramount Plus right now. It's got great performances. I love the soundtrack, the vibe to it. It's really well made. That's gonna be it for today's installment of IF and Love Cinema. So thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you like the video. If you've seen Death of Dick Long, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Until next time, peace out.